In this video, we're going to go through a Nanhua Primary School Preliminary Examination 2024 Primary 6 Mathematics Paper 1. So let's get started. Question 1. In 21.56, which digit is in the tens place? Okay, so we know 2 over here is in a tens place without the th. 1 is in the ones place. Okay, so common mistake is 5 is in the not one place, it's in the tenth place. And 6 is in the 100th place. Okay, so this is just a refresher on these different places. So in this case, the answer to this question is option number 3 over here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Which of the following is the first common multiple of 6, 4, and 6? Right? So you can write 4, 8, 12, 16, right? 20, 24. And there is 6, 12, 18, right? 24. So you could see the first common multiple is not 16 but 12, which is testing you, right? The answer is 12 over here. So it's still option number 3. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. Okay, the diagram shows a refrigerator. Which of the following could be the height of the refrigerator? So you can always use yourself as a way to measure yourself, way to measure items, not yourself. So for example, maybe you are around this height. Okay, and what's your height? Okay, I think it's probably 1.5 or 150 to 160. So 150 to 170 centimeters, right? If you're already 170, wow, you're very tall already. So around this height, lah, right? And usually you are not as tall as a refrigerator. So the answer to this is 180 centimeter, which is option 2 for question number 3. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Which of the following is the same as 9 liters and 75 milliliters? Okay, you see over here, what is 9 liters? So 1 liter is equal to 1000, or 1 times 1000 equal to 1000 milliliters. So 9 liters is equal to 9 times 1000 equal to 9000 milliliters. So 9 liters 75 one, yeah, is equal to 9000 plus 75, which is equal to 9075 milliliters. And that is option number 3 as well. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. In a number line, what is the mixed number represented by A? Okay, so we have a bunch of fractions. We know it's 2, so we just need to count the number of what we call gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a total of total total of how many gaps? 6, right? So 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then A, so A total of 6 gaps, right? And A is at 5, fifth gap. So that means A is equal to, right, 2. What are what? If you say 5 out of 6, you're right. There you go. So that means the answer to this is 2, 5 out of 6, which is option number 3 again. All right, let's move on to question number 6. Oh, wait. This below. Sorry. Question number 6. Which of the following shows half of the figure shaded? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be 1 over 5 1 over 5 shaded. Okay, what about this one? This is 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay, what about this one? So we have 2. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, and this is become 1 out of 4 shaded. Okay, we simplify it. Last one, this one. Oops. It's 2, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Okay, if we simplify, it should be half. Okay, the answer is option number 1. There you go. That's the answer. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Okay, so the figure below is the net of a cube which two faces are opposite each other. So, if you want to know which one is the opposite, you need to know where it's being faced, right? So, for example, D is at the bottom, C is at the what do you call this? C is at the left side. So D and F is the opposite side. Okay, so for this, there's no DNF. Okay, then that's fine. So C, which one is C looking at? So B and E is opposite side as well, right? So for this B and E lah, option number 4. So this one you have to like kind of remember or visualize it. So D and F, so opposites is D and F, right? B and E and C, right? So none of these has this except for B and E. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 8. Sharon watched the movie that was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It ended 0030. What time did the movie start? Okay, so it starts 0030. Okay, so minus 20 minutes is equal to, it is the same as 24 in a way lah. 24:30 minus 20 minutes, which is equal to 24 um 10 minutes, right? 24:10. Okay, then we have that. Next one is 24:10 minus 2 hours, which is equal to 2210. Okay, so the answer is option number 3 for question number 8. All right, let's move on to question number 9. Okay, question 9 says William had $100 after buying 5 identical bags. He After buying 5 identical bags, he had 100. Okay, after buying 5 identical bags, he had $P left. Find the cost of each bag, right? So, each bag. So basically, he had $100, and then he got P left. So it's dollars P. P is this, and then $100 is this. Okay, $100 this, and then we have five bags. Why my arrow like that? Okay, this 5. Okay, five 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 bags. Can I fit everything? No, 5 bags. Okay, so that means pretty straightforward. It's basically 100 minus P, and then we divide it by 5 in this case over here. Yup, divided by 5. So this should be option number what? 2, right? There you go. 100 minus P, sorry, option number 1. Damn. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 10. Okay, 5 out of 9 of the audience in the theater were adults and the rest were children. 1/4 of the children were boys and the rest were girls. What's the ratio of number of girls to the number of adults? So 5 of the audience in the theater were adults and the rest were children. So that means 5 adults is equal to 5 and then children. Then we know the total as well. Total equal to 9. So children is equal to 9 minus 5 equal to 4, right? Units. Double U. No lah, this is just U. Okay, so children were boys and the rest were girls. So boys is equal to 1/4 times 4 units equal to 1 unit, right? And then girls is basically 4 units minus 1 unit is equal to 3 units. So what's the ratio of girls to adults? We just write here lah, right? So girls to adults, I think it's pretty straightforward. Girls is 3, adults is 5. So it's 3 is to 5. Option number 2. Okay, let's move on to question 11. Okay, question 11. Nathaniel spent 20% of his money on a cap. He used the rest of the money to buy a bag and a shirt. The bag cost $15 more than the cap. The shirt cost $165. Find the cost of the bag. Okay, so the cap is basically 20%, which is also 20 out of 100, which is also 1 out of 5 of money. Okay, so convert to units. That means cap is equal to 1 unit, and then bag plus shirt is equal to, so total is 5 units. So bag plus shirt equal to 5 minus 1 equal to 4 units. Okay, so yes, okay, we have this. Right, then the next thing is we know that the bag costs $15 more, so bag is one cap, which is 1 unit plus dollars 15, and then the shirt is equal to dollars 165. So that means 4 units, which is bag and shirt, is equal to 1 unit plus this whole thing, right? Plus dollars 165. Okay, let me see what's the okay. Great, I guess. And this is actually will then become 1 unit plus 115 plus 165 is $180. Okay, so dollars. Then that means 3 units is equal to dollars 180. They move this up. Then 1 unit is equal to 180 divided by 3 is equal to $60. Okay, in this case over here. All right, so let me just move this to the other side. Okay, so now we know this. That means for the bag is equal to 60 plus 15 equal to dollars 75. So the answer to this question is option number 4 over here. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 12. So Mrs. Sandra can bake either 90 big cupcakes or 150 small cupcakes with the same amount of ingredients. After baking 60 big cupcakes, what is the maximum number of small cupcakes she can bake with the remaining ingredients? So basically 90 big is equal to 150. So 30 big is equal to 150 small, sorry, small. So basically you just divide it by 3. So 150 divided by 3 is equal to 50 small. So 30 big can bake to 50 small, right? Or 30 additional small to the 150, right? So now what is the maximum number of small cupcakes she can bake? Is it 50 for question number 12? Yeah, that's it all. Wait, pause. 90 big, so 60. Yes, yes. So, okay. So, ha 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 ha. Okay, so 30 big. So 60 big is equal to 50 times 2 is equal to 100 small. Cool. So since she baked 60, if she baked six, 60 big, that means she baked 100 small. So that means left is uh, remaining small is equal to 150 minus 100 equal to 50 small. There you go. So the answer is option number 2. Ta-da! Okay, that's it. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 13. In the figure ABCD, ABCD is a square. BC, BCT is a equilateral triangle. So I'm going to draw this like this. Okay, AT is a straight line. Find X over here. So in this case, what we can do is we know that, oops, You know that this is 60, right? And this is 90. Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is 60 as well. 60 degrees. That's what I see over here. Okay, and then this is an equilateral triangle. So since one side of the square is also the same as the triangle, that means this is also an isosceles triangle. Okay, so I'm gonna write this down. Since what do you call this? Since BC is equal, BC is same side as, since BC in triangle BCT is same side as BC in square, that creates is, let's say B is equal to BT, which creates ABT isosceles triangle. Iso isosceles isosceles triangle. Okay, I was thinking of the spelling. Okay, either way, yeah. So ABT is isosceles. So from here, what we could do is we can get BAT. So angle BAT is equal to 180 minus 60 minus 90, and then we divide this by 2. Okay, and divide this by 2. Okay, which is equal to I'm just gonna make this a bit long form. So this 150 divided by 2, this then become 30 divided by 2, which is equal to 15. So BAT is 15 degrees, right? So this is 15 degrees over here. Okay, so then we can get this angle, right? So this is angle BR something, right? uh so angle B something BX, I don't know. I'm gonna put B, there's A B C D E, right? I'm gonna put E here. Okay, angle BEA, angle BEA is equal to 180 minus 90 minus 15. 180 minus 90 minus 15, which is equal to 90 minus 15, which is equal to 185, 75 degrees. Okay, so BAE is 75 degrees, like this over here. So I'll put 60 like this. Okay, then we can get X, which is basically 180. So angle X is equal to 180 minus 75, and this will give us 105 degrees. So the answer is option number 1. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 14. The figures below are made up of identical squares. How many figures have at least one line of symmetry? At least one line. So line of symmetry, I think one is here. So figure 2. Figure 1 also have, which is diagonal, like this. So I have 2 figures. This one not really, doesn't, you can't really see it. Figure 4 also not really. Even if you were to do diagonally like this, right, it needs to be opposite the same. So no. The answer for 14 is 2. There's only 2 figures with at least one line of symmetry. All right, let's move on to question 15, last of the MCQ. The figure below is made up of 4 identical circles inside the square. The length of the square is 56 centimeters. The length of the square is 56 centimeters. Find the perimeter of the shaded part, which is just in the middle. So let me make it a little bit nicer to see. All right, it will look something like this over here. Okay, so the shaded area is just this part, which is in the middle lah. So what we can do is, let me just make this a bit, yeah, this one also a bit bigger. So at least it's okay. So if I were to draw this part, it is basically the middle. That's what you see over here, like this. Okay, so the shaded area is actually covering the middle of the circles, right? This thing over here, right? Okay, and then yeah, so at the same time, since they are identical, that means we have identical middles here. So I'm gonna draw a line in the middle like this. Okay, gonna draw one line, red, then draw another line, red. So I see. So this is like the middle part. Okay, so that means in this case we have. Let me just draw this. Okay, we have this, right? This is 1 unit. Okay, I'm just gonna draw 1 unit for this. This is 1 unit. This is 1 unit. And then this is 1 unit. Something like this lah. Okay, actually just put R because that's the radius. Okay, right? It's not 1 unit lah, but it's just radius. Okay, so radius, radius, and radius. Okay, so shaded area is basically equal to half of the semicircles. So two halves of the semicircles plus these two radius, right? Or the length. So perimeter of shaded is equal to 2 times I would say the length here. I'm gonna write here length, right? So we have two lengths, 2 times length, right? Plus 4 times the semicircle circle. Okay, so 4 times semicircle means it's basically 2 times length plus 2 times uh circles, full circles. Right, so with that, let's calculate. So one length is equal to read. Okay, wait. So 1 r or radius, 1 r is equal to 56 divided by 4. Okay, let's see. 56 divided by 4. Okay, in this case, all right, what do you think the answer is? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let me zoom in also lah. Okay, so we just put -4. Okay, that means it's 1 over here, right? And then 5 minus 4, this will give us 1, and it's 16. So minus 16, and this will give us 4 over here. So this is 14. There you go, 14. Okay, so now we know that is 1 r is 14. That means one length is equal to 2 r. So let's put there. One length is equal to 2 r, which is equal to 14 times 2, which is 28. Okay, right, like this. So you see the length over here is basically 2 times of the radius, right? If I were to draw over here. So this is a radius r over here, and we have another r over here, right? The radius. There you go. So just let radius be r. Okay, so now we know one length is 28. So two lengths is equal to 28 times 2, which is equal to 56. It's exactly what we want. Okay, next, we want to get a full circle. So full circle parameter. So no parameter, perimeter is equal to 2 times pi times r, or pi. Okay, that works. So we know r as well, right? Radius. Okay, so we know pi as well. So it's 2 times what do you call this? Pi is 22 out of 7. Okay, and then times in this case r is 14. 14. So 7 divided by 14 is 2. So it's 2 times. So full 2 pi r. Yeah, correct. 28. Yes. The diameter is 28. Okay, so 22. So basically it's just 28 times 22 out of 7. Okay, actually it's just 2 times 22 times. So you can cancel 7 and 14. This will give us 2. And this will give us 488. Right, 2 times 2 is 44 times 2, which is equal to 88. Okay, so 2 full circle parameter, okay, is equal to 99 times 2, which is basically 200 minus 2, so it's 198. It's basically, I'm just going to put 100 times 2, 100 minus 1 times 2. Okay, that's how I calculate stuff easily. Hacks, okay, which is in this case 200 minus 2, which is 198. Yay. Okay, so 2 full semicircle. Okay, right now we just need to get this parameter of shaded area, which is equal to, in this case, oops, I got something wrong here. Give me a second. This is 88, so this should be 88 instead. So this is just 90 minus 2 times 2, which is 180 minus 4. Okay, and this will be 180 minus 4 is 176. Okay, so now with this, 2 times length is basically 56 plus 2 times full circle is 176. And this will become 156, 170, wait, 50 plus 6 plus 170 plus 6, which is 50 plus 170 plus 6 plus 6 equal to 220 plus 12, which is 232. There you go. So there's your answer, 232. Bam. All right, that's it. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 16. Okay, booklet B. So rounded 2385 to 2 decimal place. So 2 decimal place digit is 8. Okay, and then digit before 2 decimal place is 5. Then 5 is 5 or more, which we can round up. So that means 2.385. Okay, oops. 2.39 in this case over here. So we just plus 1 to the 8 in this case over here. Okay, that's it. So that's the answer, 2.39 for question number 16. All right, let's move to question number 17. All right, so this is order of operations. So from left to right, first, what do we want? Brackets, right? Okay, and then second, next is multiply or divide, and then lastly, we have add or subtract. Okay, so by following this, let's do this over here. Okay, so 85 minus bracket 30 plus 24 plus 6 times 3. So first is we need to do the bracket. So I'm going to highlight what we do first. Okay, so 85 minus 30 plus 24. So not 95, 85 minus 30 plus 4 is 54 plus 6 times 3. 30 plus, okay, so next one is we need to multiply, right? So 6 times 3. So in this case, we will just 85 minus 54 again plus 18. Okay, from here we can just calculate as per normal. 85 minus 54 is 31 plus 18, right? So 24, 6 times 3. So 85 minus 54, 5 minus 4 is 1, 8 minus 5 is 3. Yeah, correct lah. So the answer to this is 49. Okay, so this is not plus, this is divide. Okay, so we need to change this to divide, right? So divide. Okay, so instead of 6 times 3, okay, so I'm just gonna put this as divide as well, like this. Okay, so now it's much easier to do it. Okay, so from this, it's not 6 times 3 anymore, it's 54 divided by what do you call this? 6. Okay, so whether you divide or multiply first actually doesn't really matter, but it's fine. So 85 minus 54 minus divided by 6, it should be 9 times 3. Okay, and this will then become 54 divided by 6 is 9, correct. So 9 times 3, it is equal to 27. So 85 minus 9 times 3, it is 27. And then 85 minus 27 is, I'm going to do this. 85 minus 25 minus 2. Not 95 again, 85. Okay, so that means this is 85 minus 25 is 60, minus 2 is equal to 58. So that's the answer. 58. Okay, and then we just put 58 over here. Let's move to next question. Question 18. Find the value of 3 quarter times 1 over 6. Right? Okay, so 3 quarter times 1 over 6. Right? 3 over 4. And then times 1 over 6. So what we can do is we can do like the cross, call it cross simplify. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Okay, so when you cross simplify, let me make this a little bit bigger. You see a cross, so 3 and 6. So you can cancel 3 and then you can cancel 6. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you just put 2. So that means your answer should be, in this case, 2 times 4, it will be 1 over 8. That's it. So that's the answer. The answer is 1 over 8. All right, here you go. Let's move on to the next question. Question 19. So the radius of the circle is 14 centimeter. Find its area. So area of circle is equal to pi times radius times radius. So pi is 22 out of 7 times 14 times 14. So you can cancel 7, right? And you can cancel 14. This will then become 2 like this. And let me put the 2 a little bit smaller. So what will this become? So radius, okay, correct. So 22 times 2 times 14. This will then become 44 times 14. So I will just break this down to 44 times 10 plus 44 times 4. Same, right? Which is the same as this, 44 times 10 plus 4. I'm a bit like, okay, so 440 plus 44 times 4 is, why am I that lazy? Okay, I'm just gonna do the 44 times 4 times 4. Okay, so that means we have 16. So 4 times 4 is 16. Put 1 here. 1 times 4. Hey, sorry, 4 times 4 is 16 again, plus 1, 176. All right, 176. And this will give us 430 plus 176 plus. So this one is the plus 10. So this will give us, okay lah, I mean, let's just do the normal calculation. Okay, so 440 plus 176. Okay, so it'll be 6. 4 plus 7 is 11. 1, you put 1 on top. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. And then this will be 6. 616. There you go. That's the answer. So many steps just to do this. But yeah, you need to calculate. Make sure you double check with your calculation because there's no calculator here. Let's move to question 20. The figure below consists of 1 centimeter cubes. What is the volume of the first figure? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say first layer, right? Oop. Yeep, whoop. Right, so first layer, in this case over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So first layer is equal to 9. Okay, so second layer, oops, second layer will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be 4. So this is second layer. And then third layer at the top over here, right? Just one. Third layer, 1. So what's total cubes? Equal to 4 plus 9 plus 1 equal to 14. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, the first layer is 8, not 9. Okay, so 4 plus 8 plus 1, they should be 13. Okay, so that means it's 13 centimeter cube. So 1 cube is equal to 1 centimeter cube. So 13 cubes is equal to 1 times 13 equal to 13 centimeter cube. There you go. So that's the answer. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, question 21. In the square grid below, XY is a straight line. Draw and label isosceles triangle XYZ using one of the given points at point Z. So for this, you can generally measure XY with the base and height. So let me just draw it here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5. This is 2 over here. All right, so yeah, then we can draw accordingly. So if one of the sides is 5 and 2, then it's correct. Okay, so let's draw here. Oops. Let me draw this and this. Okay, so let's see if either is 5 and 2. So for this is 1. So nope. Let's draw the other one. Okay, this is 2, but this one is not 5. This is 6. Okay, how I know it's 6 because I just see this line over here. So this one is not. Okay, this one also not because it's still 1. What is this? What is this? Height. So we can remove these 2 points. Okay, let's move on to this one over here. Okay, so in this, okay, so in this case, it's 2 here, and here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so for this also is no, this is inverted. This is just the 4, but this is 1. Okay, so still no as well for this part. So we can cancel this part, right? And then we can move to this one. It's still 2. And for this is 3, which is not what we want. This is 2, and this is 4. Right, this is 4 over here, right? And this is 2. Okay, so this is not what we want as well. Then last one, if you move over here, okay, suddenly this becomes 5 and this becomes 2, which is the same as this side over here. Okay, it's not 4, this 5. So 5 and 2 over here, right? And yeah, that's it. So that is how you draw an isosceles. You measure the base and height of one side and make sure they are the same. Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 22. So the pie chart shows the co-curricular activity (CCA) that 290 primary 5 students joined the school. How many joined the uniform groups? Okay, so we know that sports and games is half. Okay, so we have let's pull out sports and games is equal to 290 times half, right? Is equal to 145. Okay, so we know clubs and societies over here is 1/4, right? So we can write that also. Clubs and societies. Okay, so society, not soy. Societies is equal to 290 times 1/4, which is basically half of this 290 over here. The pie chart shows, but the thing is, one quarter will then makes it 0.25, which is a bit weird, to be honest. Okay, so in this case, what we can do is we can make this into percentages, right? So we have 100% times half, because we have percent here. This would then be 50%. And then clubs and society, 100% times one quarter. So this 50% is equal to 25%. Okay, which much easier to work with. So UG, uniform groups, right? So it's a bit weird that 290 they put one quarter, but that's fine. So uniform group is percentage, right? It's equal to 100 minus 50 minus 25 minus, so this is 15 instead of 16, right? 15%. Okay, let me just put here 15%. Right, minus 15, and this will give us, so 50, 25, 40. I'll just put here, all right? So this is this minus 40. So this will be 10%. Okay, so this is percentage, percentage, percentage. Okay, so last one, uniform groups, is that, so uniform groups is equal to 290 times 10%, which is basically divided by 10 lah, right? It's 29. Okay, so if I were to make it a bit more, right, 10 out of 100, or 1 out of 10. Okay, it's 29 in this case over here. All right, so the answer is 29. All right, let's move on to question 23. Okay, so the square grid shows the position of Thomas and Betty. Fill in the blanks. Thomas is, so north, south, and then we have east, and we have west. Okay, north, south, east, west of Betty. So Betty, that means from Betty. Okay, so that means in this direction, not both directions. So north, south is, sorry, that means northwest. Well, that means it's north dash west. Okay, so that's Thomas and Betty faced the same direction at first. Thomas then turned 45 degrees, part B. Thomas then turned 45 degrees clockwise, while Betty turned 135 anti-clockwise to face northeast. What direction did Thomas face in the end? So Betty and then face northeast. So northeast is over here, right? So basically, this is the line here, and then she turned anti-clockwise, 135. Okay, so 135. Okay, so 90 degrees is yeah, yeah. Wait. 90 degrees is one quarter turn. Okay, I was confused. 45 degrees, right? One quarter or one square turn, right? 45 degrees is half of one quarter turn. Okay, so that means 135 is equal to one quarter plus half of one quarter. One quarter plus half of one quarter. Okay, all right, so now we know that. So this was so anti-clockwise. That means she was this way, right? So that means we need to reverse this way, clockwise, right? So we know that, and 90 degrees is here, okay, and then after that she do half of it, which means she was facing the south. So that means Thomas was also facing the south first, right? Let me arrow south first, and then he turned clockwise. So he turned clockwise, which is this way. So Betty was facing, whoops. So anti-clockwise, she was facing, okay, like this, right? North, Northeast, yeah, northeast. So anti-clockwise is, so she turned anti-clockwise. So that means, yeah lah, correct. So quarter and then 90. Okay, so this is anti-clockwise, right? So clockwise means going the other way, which is 45 degrees, which is here. So that means he was, in the end, he was facing southwest. Southwest. There you go. So southwest. Okay, from here. So Thomas, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next question. All right, so question 24. Eight people shared the cost of a meal equally. The cost of the meal was divided by six instead of eight by mistake. As a result, each of the eight people paid $4 more than what they should have paid. What is the correct amount that each person should pay? Okay, so let's let one unit be correct amount. So that means total, no, one unit be uh, correct individual amount. So for this, that means total, it will be one unit times 8 will be 8 units. Pretty straightforward, right? So wrong amount is equal to, in this case, we have one unit, but they said they paid, so total, but with wrong individual amount, okay, which is basically one unit, okay, times 6 and then plus one, so one unit plus 4, and then we multiply this by 6, right? So that means this is 6 units plus 24. Okay, total with wrong individual amount. Okay, so that case, that means 8 units is equal to 6 units plus 24. Is there a better way for this? Okay lah, but either way, this is the correct way. So 8 units, so minus 6 units equal to 24, then 2 units equal to 24. So 1 unit is equal to 24 divided by 2 is equal to dollars 20 and 12 in this case over here. Right, there you go. So that's the answer, $12. All right, let's move on to question 25. He says here in the figure below, ABCD is a trapezium. So I see over here, and CDEF is a square. So trapezium has parallel lines. Okay, that's what you see over here. And this is a square, right? So 1, 2, right, 3, and 4. Okay, so given that ADC is 40, find BCF, which is this one, BCF, right? So I think they were giving me how many degrees this is. Okay, so let me check what was the degrees over here. Okay, but either way, we can calculate the what is this? This thing. So BCD angle, BCD, right? I thought it was there's nothing here basically, but it's actually 180 minus 40. This is 140 degrees. Okay, nothing special. So this is 140 degrees over here, right? Okay, then we also know that this is a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle. This is a right angle because this is a square. All right, and so I think we probably can get a BCF lah, right angle. BCF is equal to 360 minus 140 minus 90, which is equal to 360 minus 140 is 220 minus, wait, 220 minus 90, correct. And this will be 130 degrees. Okay, there you go. The answer is 130 degrees. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question 26. Jane has 1 meter of string. She cuts 1/4 meter of the string to tie a box. The remaining length of the string is cut into shorter pieces, each measuring 1.5 meters. What is the maximum number of 1.5 meters pieces that Jane have? All right, so for this, I think it's, you can convert 1 meter to 100 to equal to 100 centimeter lah. Okay. All right, you don't have to use fractions. If you know it's a meter, then yeah, it's fine. So then she cuts 1/4 of the meter of the string to tie a box. So string to tie box is equal to 1/4 times 100, which is equal to 25 centimeter. So remaining is equal to 100 minus 25. This is equal to 75 centimeters. So shorter 1/5 meter is equal to 1/5 times 100, which is 20 centimeters. So number of 1/5 meters pieces, okay, is equal to in this case 75, and then divided by 20. You can use you can use what do you call this, you can divide it, right? So 20 and then divided by 75. So in this case it's not very hard. The division is just 60, and then you have 3, and then you have remainder 15, right? That's it. So you just minus this. So what's the maximum number? Okay, is basically 3 remainder 15. So you just round up round down just 3 lah. So the answer to this question is 3. There you go. All right, that's it. Let's move to the next question. Question 27. The figure below shows an isosceles triangle x, y, and z, where x, y is equal to xz. Okay, find yz. Okay, so with this, since xy is equal to xz, that means 3a minus 4 is equal to 20. Okay, 3a is equal to 20 plus 4, which is 24. Then a is equal to, okay, 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8 centimeters. So yz is equal to 4a plus 5, which is equal to 4 times 8 plus 5. I'm getting ahead of myself, which is 32 plus 5, which is 37 centimeters. Okay, there you go. So the answer is 37. All right, let's move to the next question. Question 28. The table below shows the number of books read by a group of students in a week. The number of students who read 3 and 4 or more books is not shown. Right, each statement below is either true, false, or not possible to tell from the information given. For each statement, pick a tick in the correct column. Okay, so 1/3 of students read one book in a week. 1/3 of the students read one book in a week. So for this, it's not possible to tell is because we don't know how many 3 or 4 over here. So can I write notes? Yeah, here. Not possible to tell as we don't know the full, we don't know amount of, what's this? 3 or 4 more, right? Let me make this all. Oh, I can put here actually, right? So for A over here, I can put like this. Now as we don't know the amount of 3, 4 or more. Okay, next one. Given 2/5 of the students read at least 2 books in a week, the number of students who read 3 books was the greatest. Given that 2/5 of the books, right? Okay, so for B, let me. All right, so for part B, given that 2/5 of the students read at least 2 books in a week, the number of students who read 3 books was the greatest. Okay, so in this case over here, 2 books or less, so it means 2/5 is at least 2 books, right? So that means over here, that means 3 over 5 is equal to 50 plus. So this is less than 2 books, which is equal to basically 70 plus 50, which is 120, right? So with that said, 3/5, that means 2/5. So 1/5 is equal to 120 divided by 3, which is 40. And then 2/5 is equal to, 2/5 is equal to 40 times 2, which is 80. So now we know that in this case over here, uh, number of books, number of two books in 1 week is equal to 30, right? Then 3 books or more is equal to 80 minus 30 is equal to 50. So the thing is that I would say still not possible to tell because uh, 2 books, no, not 2 books. Who read 3 books? Still not possible tell as 3 books can be 0 or 50. Extreme case. So the answer to this is not possible to tell. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 29. The figure below is made of 2 squares with the lengths 3 centimeters and 7 centimeters. A quarter circle can be found in the big square. Find the parameter of the shaded part. Okay, so we know that this over here is also, wait, let me just get this. So this is 3 centimeters. And we also know that this is 3 centimeters. And we also know that this is 7 centimeters. Okay, and then I think this one we probably know that this is 4 centimeters. Okay, that's what I see over here. So we just need to get this part over here, right? So quadrant, right? Quarter circle. So parameter of quarter circle is equal to 1/4 times parameter is 2 pi r, 2 times pi times radius. So the radius of this, radius of quarter circle, is equal to 7 centimeters. So that means it's equal to 1/4 times 2 times the pi is 22 out of 7 times radius is 7. So it's 1/4 again times 2 times 22 basically. And then this will become 1/4 times 44, which then become 11 centimeters over here. So this whole thing, right? Let me just put an arrow. This whole thing is 11 centimeters, right? Ew, red color, right? So this is 11 centimeters. Okay, so now with that said, okay, now we just put this like this. Okay, so with that said, we just get the shaded figure parameter. Okay, it's easier actually to just put it here. Is okay, so this is equal to um 11 plus 7 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, and this is 11, so this is 18 plus 4 plus 9, that makes this 18 plus 13, 31 cm. There you go. So that's your answer, 31 cm. Right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Right, so question 30. I put here 6 out of 5 difficulty because number one is that to solve this in a better way, it's not in a primary school syllabus. So in this, let me just share with you the question. In the figure, ABC and ADE are right angle isosceles triangle. So you see over here, right? So isosceles means both sides are the same. That's what I see over here, right? Both sides are the same. Okay, and then BD is equal to CE. So 2 cm, 2 cm. The area of the shaded part is 22 centimeters. Okay, so find the length of AD. So one side of the big triangle. So in essence, we know that there's triangle ADE is equal to triangle. No, no. Minus triangle ABC is equal to 22 centimeter square. So to do this in a more proper way, it will require you to learn a bit about secondary school syllabus, but I'm not gonna go do that. So we have to do by listing method. Okay, right. So in a way, it's like a pattern method kind of thing. So first is like we will just list lah. So so if AD is, for example, let's say if AD is 4. Okay, so if AD is 4, for example, okay, that's not the answer. I'm just giving you an example, 4 cm, right? So then that means triangle ADE, which is basically half times 4 times 4, okay, and then let's just put brackets so it's easier to see. Half 4 times 4 minus, so 4 minus 2, so the should we put this, okay, 4 minus 2, because the multiplication is there, right? So if AD is 4, then BD is equal to 4 minus 2. Okay, like this lah, right? So which is 2, right? Pretty straightforward. So you have half times 2 times 2, which is basically equal to, so 4 times 4 is 16. So divided by half is 8. And then after that, so 2 times 2 is 4, divided by 2 is 4. You know, 2 times 4 divided by 2 is 2. That means it's 6. So for this is not 22. So you have to list down, right? So next one is if AD is 6, then BD is 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay. So we know this over here. So I'm just going to put here, right? We know it's minus 8. But what is the next one is 6, right? So 6 times 6 is equal to 36, right? And then minus 8, this will, you don't know. 6 times 6 is 36, correct? Divided by 2 is 18. Minus 8, this will give us 10 over here. Right, so 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2. Okay, so that's roughly about it. Okay, then we do again, right? So over here, we'll just say if AD is 10, sorry, 8, then BD is 8 minus 2, which is 6. So we have half times 6, right? Which is this. And then you have times 8 times 8. Okay. So 8 times 8 is 64, divided by 2 is 32. Then this is minus 18. Right. So this is 14. Okay. So we know from 6. So this is also slash pattern. Okay. So we know that if it's 4, this will be 6. If it's 6, it will be 10. If it's 8, it will be 14. So let's say, so that means if final answer is, so 6 difference is equal to AD as 4, then 10 difference, that means AD is 6, right? And then 14 difference, that means AD is 8, like this, right? 6, 10, and 14. So we want to get a difference of 22. So that means 6 to 4 is, so in a way we have to work backwards, right? So in a way, let's try to use the pattern. So 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. 10 minus 2 minus 2 is equal to 6. And then 14 minus 2 minus 2 minus 2 is equal to what is this? 4, 6, and 8. Like this. Okay. So that means you see lah, the number pattern over here. Okay, so how do we know that this is 2, this is 2, this is 2? Generally, okay, so actually I saw the pattern lah. Okay. So basically, I got it. So you see 14 over here is basically 8 plus 6. 10 over here is 6 plus 4. Okay, so 6 difference means AD plus BD is equal to 4 plus 2, right? Okay, so AD plus BD, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 difference. Okay, so then, okay. Then from here, AD plus BD is 6 plus, 4 plus 2. So 6 plus 4 is equal to 10 difference. Okay, so with that said, then we can just use this pattern. So if we want to get, so basically that means difference, or 10 difference, is equal to minus 2 divided by 2, right? So 6 is minus 2. So in a way, BD is 2, right? So that means uh 10 divided 10 minus 2. So BD is equal to, in this case, difference minus 2 and then divided by 2. Okay, it's very annoying. You can list down, honestly, listing down it's much better, all right? So AD plus BD is equal to 8 plus 6. AD is 8, then difference is 6, and this will give you 14. Okay, right? Okay, so in this case, so what we want is that BD, right, is 2. So if you want uh, the area over here is to be 22. So if difference to be 22, that means BD is equal to 22 minus 2. Okay, divided by 2, which is 22 minus 2 is 20, divided by 2, that means it's 10. Okay, so that means AD is equal to 10 plus 2, which is 12. That's it, right? And AD is equal to BD plus 2. Okay, so that means this, this is 12. Annoying. Alright, that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below and comment down what other things you want me to show you next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.